Hello again, this is Edna Murdoch, and this is the next in our series of A Supervisor's Diary. In this little series, I'm just offering you some tools and tips around coaching and some of the themes, comment on some of the themes that are arising in my supervision work with coaches and supervisors and leaders across the world. It's January, I'm speaking to you from the UK, and something really is so obvious as I'm working this month, as I have resumed work after Christmas, and that is that many of the coaches and supervisors I'm working with are saying, my goodness, the energy out there is frantic, I'm tired, I've just had a holiday, everything seems to be working at a very fast pace. And so I'm very aware of that as I'm listening. So I'm also experiencing it, of course. I'm not immune. None of us is immune. And really what we're thinking of in supervision, in part, is how we resource the people we're working with, coaches, supervisors, teams, whatever. How we actually resource them and make sure that you and I, when we're coaching, can actually work at our optimum and work at a high level without unnecessarily losing energy. So one of the things I want to talk about today is a little story I will share with you where I've learned a lot about the somatics of maintaining my energy. So what do I mean by that? Well, very often I see coaches and the inclination in myself to do this, really moving in, trying hard to get a shift, a move for their clients, really using their energy, their personality, all their skills and tools, of course. Now, occasionally that's needed, but actually the work is done in the space between us and through the kind of conversations that you and I have every day. When I was a young therapist in training, many years ago, we were videoed as we did our first role plays, and so I'm there and I'm trying to work with this person, trying to make them feel better. My arms were waving about. I'm like, whoa, really get into this. I was such an enthusiastic person. I still am, and I still have to manage these things. So when we played the videos back, I was terrible, like everybody else. And the way in which I was terrible was because of all this waving about, this huge output of energy onto my client, which I hadn't realized at the time. So when it next came to doing another video, someone stood behind me and held my back in the back of the chair and put their arms on top of my shoulders and held me down, as it were. I also had to sit on my hands, these hands that I love waving about and demonstrating this and that and the other with. So there I was, forcibly learning what it meant to contain my own energy and not to flood the client with it. Now, I'm giving you that little story. It was a huge learning for me. I'm giving you the story because the part of it that I'm interested in this morning is how we actually do not unnecessarily lose energy. And I see this in coaches and supervisors that I work with, that the effort of trying, wanting to get somewhere is so important for all of us, that there is a temptation to move into the client's space energetically. And of course there we cut down thinking, we cut down imagination, we disempower the client actually. But more importantly, for what I'm talking about now, we actually lose our energy unnecessarily. So I invite you to think about that. My natural way of working, because I love training and everything, is to be up and at 'em and do. That's me. When I work, people think I'm really calm. People who work with me think I'm really calm. I am, but it's a practice. And it serves me as much as it serves the work. I also want to say two more things to you before I go. Two little tips here. When we're working with individuals in particular, and we're giving a lot of eye contact, you know, we're encouraged to give eye contact, and it's right that we do. But we lose energy mostly through our eyes when we're working with someone. So if someone is really pulling on your eyes, or you're starting to feel a little droopy in a session, look away and then look back. Look away and look back. So consciously, intentionally, keep your energy good. This is about resourcing yourself and being really intentional about it. The other thing I want to say to you quickly is we lose energy through our solar plexus, in the sense that the world impacts us there. This is well documented. So if you are working, say you're working with someone and there is a massive complication or distress or something, there's a huge and toxic organization and all kinds of things to learn about together, and it's all like, whoa, it's heavy. You'll be affected in your solar plexus. So there are a couple of things you can do about that. One is, quite literally, apart from looking away, every now and then you can sit with your arm across your solar plexus, and energetically that will help you and protect you. It's also just helpful to know that you can do something, and that you are aware of the fact that you've got another client in an hour's time and you want to make sure you're in good nick for when they arrive. The other thing, no, I think that's the last thing that I want to say today. I don't want this to go on too long, but I invite you really to take care of both of those aspects of managing your energy. I also want to say one more thing, I knew I did, about your solar plexus. As well as covering it up, you can just turn to the side and work like that. And you will be energetically impacted here, not here. Not in the front of your system, which is open and vulnerable. These are just very simple tools that I invite you to practice, because you matter, the quality of your work matters, and you and I have got years to go. So why lose energy unnecessarily? Let's resource ourselves consciously. See you next time.